everybody, welcome to the Comic and Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about rumors, but they are probably 155% true. Now, over the past few days, at least yesterday, there has been speculings or, stuff out there from people who have seen the Morbius movie. Now, I have spoken my piece. I think this movie looks like garbage. I think this movie looks like it looks generic as fuck, and it looks like a movie that would have been made in the early 2000s, the same way that Venom looks. Same way that Venom and Venom 2 look like movies that would have been made in the early 2000s. It's a movie that is based off the character and name only, with little things that are connected to the actual comic book version of the character, which are just bones being thrown to people who will just accept anything. I feel the same way about the Venom movies and this movie that I feel about the Mortal Kombat movie, which is people who are just excited to see these things will be excited to see these things no matter what. Like, they're not actually giving you a reason. It's like, you're just like, well, this is the best I can get. Like, that's the thing. It was like, which made me pissed off about the Mortal Kombat movie. Is I'm just like, people get in this mindset. Though, let's face it, there's a large portion of the audience, particularly with the Venom movies and this movie, of course, who are only supporting these films because to spite the MCU. To go, well, it's different, so therefore I like it. Like that, I've never, like, I almost made, like years ago, I ended up not putting it out. I made an entire 30-minute video, I'm not shitting you, on how much I'm starting to hate the word different. Not because it doesn't mean it's a good thing, diversity and whatnot, and different opinions, that does help. But I'm tired of people using the word different to describe the only good thing they can say. When anyone has anything to say about Venom, only thing they have to say good is it's different, therefore equals good. No. And that's why some people support these films, because Venom 1 and 2 are garbage. They're shit movies. They really are. Like they really are. But one of the things that they did was trick a lot of the audience members also into going to see it by being very vague about how closely it's linked to the MCU and to the Spider-Man character. And Sony did this, and I said it back then. I was like, dude, Sony is shady as fuck. I said it, Sony is a leech. Sony is shady as fuck. Sometimes I wish that the MCU just let them drown and die and try to pump out their stupid sequels and no one goes and see it. And then they have to have no choice but to either, like shelve the character or something. Like, sometimes I do wish the MCU had just left them to die like the fish jumping out of the boat that they were in 2014. But that didn't happen. So we are where we are. But I knew then, when the first Venom came out, what Sony's plan is. They want you to believe that these films are in the MCU. And from the recent news, from the recent rumors / news that have been reported on, that has been talked about by very reputable sources, hell, John Campea was just talking about it, The Real Rejects was just talking about it, a couple people are talking about this, a lot of people are talking about this. And when there is smoke, there is fire. The idea that Sony has marketed this Morbius movie as it is closely related to it is closely related to Spider-Man, it is closely related to the MCU, that this movie that they've had Michael Keaton in all the promotions saying that he's playing Tooms, he's playing the Vulture, he's playing that same Vulture, he's playing that same Tooms. Oh, like, they've had him in all kinds of things, and I didn't even know because I stopped watching it because I have no fucks to give about Morbius, really. That apparently in the last trailer they had Michael Keaton narrating it. So they've had Michael Keaton, and then you hear reports that not only was Michael Keaton supposed to be in this, but there was supposed to be an appearance from Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. And that there was supposed to be like a setup for the Daily Bugle, and it was supposed to have hints to their version of Spider-Man, and hints to the Black Cat, and hints to this. That there are like so many connected tissues, so many different things in this film that are supposed to connect it to a loose MCU cinematic universe that were apparently all cut from the movie. which is a problem since you've been marketing the movie as what it is. You know what I mean? You've been marketing the movie as this is the next chapter in the Spider-Man universe. In fact, not that long ago, people were talking about how they're like Sony is working their fucking trick level on multiple degrees. Not only are maybe they have been lying to people in the marketing, misleading people, they have been changing each of the Spider-Man profiles. Like the Spider-Man profiles that have people on it, like the TikTok for Spider-Man No Way Home and whatnot. They have been stealth changing them to Morbius pages, so that way they can bombard you with Morbius stuff. So like right now, and I have all the reason to believe this is true because I never had faith in this movie to begin with, and when you hear about some of the reactions, the first reactions that you're getting, they're all negative. I mean, people describe this movie as boring. As boring and messy. And it's just like, I can see that. I can see that from the trailer. So like, in my mind, I'm like, dude, all of this is tracking. All of this is making sense. Did Sony lie to us? Did Sony mislead you guys into believing that this is connected? And the answer to that question is yes, because they've been doing that for a while. They have been using the MCU to prop themselves up. Like, that's the thing. People don't even want to give Spider-Man Homecoming officially to the MCU as their numbers. They want to give it to Sony. But we all know that Spider-Man No Way Home doesn't make all that money if it's not connected to the MCU. Sony might not crack the $1 billion if they're not connected to the MCU. So, now the speculation is, why did they cut out all this stuff? They cut out Adrian Toomes, aka Vulture scenes. Apparently he had a lot of scenes. They cut it all out. Now he's just a small little post-credit scene. Apparently there was a scene with Eddie Brock they cut out. There's a scene about the Daily Bugle that had hints and nods to other things they cut out. That sequence in the first movie, in the first trailer, the sequence that everyone talked about, you remember it. The sequence where Morbius walks past that wall and it says Spider-Man murdered. It's in all the trailers. Apparently that has been cut out. And you hear other things like I think his name's Matt Smith. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the person who's supposed to be playing the main villain of the movie telling people he has no idea what the fuck he's doing on this movie because they won't tell him who he's playing or why he's playing it or even his character motivations. So like, it is nuts around this movie and no one really knows why they decided to cut all this shit out. No one really knows why they decided to cut all this stuff out. And the thing about it too is the marketing has been lackluster. Have you noticed that? Like the marketing has come down. The movie comes out next week and nobody even knows. I forgot. And my mind went, oh man, I can't wait to see Moon Knight. Wait a minute. Does something else come out next week? Oh yeah. Morbius. Hell, I hated Venom. I hated the first Venom. But hell, I knew when Venom Let There Be Carnage was coming out, they marketed the fuck out of that thing. But I digress. The answer to ask this question, do you guys believe these rumors that Sony has been deceiving us into believing these movies are closely related to the MCU, to the bigger Sony whatever universe? And do you believe also the reports that this movie is terrible? I believe all of the above, but that's just me. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. Do you believe Sony has been lying to us about Morbius? Thank you guys again. See you in the next one. Goodbye.